You know what we can't get away from these days is all the coverage on royals. It's like nauseating.
It really is. I'm like, if I see one more story.
It's like in the news, oh, I didn't hear that story. Oh, they got sandwiches on Tuesday. For real, like it's everywhere. And like
it's all over.
Shows sometimes depict royals. Now, I don't know if this is true, but like they don't even dress themselves.
Like dressing maids, like ladies' maids.
They have people that come up and put the... Like, that's insane to me.
We watched Downton Abbey, and not that I think that that's like 100% accurate, but I do think they try to be historically accurate. And it's like, yeah, they have people who do, like, I mean, I'm surprised they weren't carried.
Do they tie their shoes? Do they put their shoes on?
I mean, I guess if they wanted to.
There's a point where, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a point where you'd like want to do some of these things yourself. But our picture in today's society of what it means to be royal, what it means to be a king or a queen, is very different than the king we serve.
Yeah, the King of Kings. He is royalty, right? I mean, you think about his crown, everything from who he is and how we should view him, but he's so much more than that. And as you know, if we look at our worldly example of royals, it's just not even fair because Jesus wasn't like that. I was having a discussion with my son just the other day. He's trying to understand, or I'm trying to explain what it means for Jesus to leave heaven, leave his kingdom, his
like perfection,
where he is,
where there's no tears, where there's
to
like
come down
joy,
and be with
you're
us.
With God,
and how can you put that in some kind of perspective for a 12-year-old? And I don't think you can, because it's hard for us to wrap our brain around what he left to come and do
here,
what he
did into this fallen world
for us. And
knowing what was coming,
knowing
the sacrifice that he was going to make. And I'm always amazed, like, he wasn't here to be served as a royal, as a king of kings, right? He was here to serve.
Yeah, the only thing I came up with, and I don't know if you guys are going to laugh, but the only thing I came up with is kind of like us going, hey, there's a sewer there, I'm going to go hang out with those rats or mice for a while because I love them so much. I know it's kind of a crazy
the comfort
analogy,
of even like your own
but
home,
would you leave your house? You know, it's just not even. But again, I was talking to a 12-year-old.
Yeah, no, just trying to make the distinction between heaven and earth, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the distinction between perfection and a fallen world.
I wish that we as adults could truly understand that kind of love. I just don't think we ever will. So anyway, I was reading this passage to him, and I wanted to share it with you. Philippians, one of my favorite passages, says, you must have the same attitude that Christ Jesus had. Like that, what we were just talking about, the humble servant coming to earth, leaving heaven, leaving perfection, leaving glory to be with us. Not only be with us, but be the humble servant, to be the one to sacrifice his life.
Well, and I think a reminder to serve others, you know, because so often we can be in this self-serving, me culture of the world. So to humble ourselves like Jesus did and to have his heart toward others.
We need to look at him like that too, you know, remember who he is and what he did. But it goes on to say, though he was God, he did not think of equality with God as something to cling to. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave. That's pretty powerful. And was born as a human being. When he appeared in human form, he humbled himself in obedience to God and died a criminal's death on a cross. So my analogy seems pretty bad when you look at the scriptures and go, wow, that really is what he did, who he is. That's true royalty. That's the king we serve.